Group 9 reporting Ejok 122, Bia Ungkal, Giselle Jaba, Mergris Banyas, Tarahata B. Kasiba, at Roel Ligip.
Cyber literacy. What is cyber or digital literacy? Digital literacy means having the skills you need to live and work in a society where communication and access to information ID increasingly through digital technologies like internet, platforms, social media, and mobile devices. What is the importance of the cyber or digital literacy? Digital literacy skills allow you to find, use, and create into online in a productive and useful ways. Having an understanding about digital literacy means you're able to use technology safely and it helps you to avoid its dangers. This is the example of digital literacy. Understanding how to use browser, search engine, email, text, wiki, blogs, photoshoot, PowerPoint, video creation, editing software, etc. To showcase learning, evaluating online resources for accuracy, trustworthiness of information.
Research and data collection protocols. When researching and collecting data from the web, avoid plagiarism, which is the act of taking someone else's work and presenting it as your own. Turnitin.com. Turnitin.com, ito yung website na kailangan nating malaman kung ito ba'y nakakatulong o hindi. Plagiarism is unethical and it can bring you in trouble. Sometimes students don't mean to plagiarize, but they end up doing it accidentally because they are unaware or unclear about it. Ito yung kalabanang nangyayari sa mga taong bago pa lamang gumagamit ng gadget. There are 10 types of plagiarism that teachers, researchers, and students should know. One is clone plagiarism. It is also called identical copying or copying another work, word for word without any change and claim as her or his own work. Number 2, remix plagiarism. It refers to collecting information from various sources and mixing all together as a single document, then claiming the work as their own work. 3. CTRL plus C plagiarism. This is when a significant portion of text copied from any single source without any alteration in a written document. 4. Hybrid plagiarism. Her perfectly cited source documents are copied and arranged as a new document without citation. 5. Find replace plagiarism. This is a changing the most common keyword and phrases in the copied content but not making any changes in the essential document. Recycle plagiarism. Number 6. Also called self-plagiarism, it refers to the act of borrowing from one's own previous document without proper citations. 7. Moshav plagiarism. It is when the written document is copied from more than one source and all are mixed together without proper citation. And 8. For error plagiarism. Here, a person creates a document by copying from various sources prepared as a single document with a citation but inaccurate or leads to non-existing resources. And 9 is aggregator plagiarism. Here, the writing document includes proper citation but it does not contain original work. And the last, number 10, retweet plagiarism. Here, all writing document look perfect with properly cited mark but still the document resembles somewhere the original text structure or wordings. Tips to avoid plagiarism. Turnitin.com suggests some techniques to avoid plagiarism that teachers, researchers, and students should know. Number 1 is read and understand the original document several times before start explaining about it. 2. Do not copy any word or sentence from the original document. 3. Give proper citation to all sources, book, journal, website, video, etc. 4. In case of citing online sources, include the retrieval date and appropriate URL in the reference. 5. Common phrases and definitions need to be quoted and cited without any modification. 6. Make a practice to include the references section whenever you write an academic document. 7. Cross-verify all your citations before submitting your document. Number 8. Resort to available plagiarism software to ensure the originality of the written document.
Morning leaders, our lesson for today is all about cybercrime. Ano nga ba ang cybercrime? According sa ABAS, cybercrime defined as any criminal activity carried out using computers or the internet. Cybercrime use tools like phishing, viruses, spyware, ransomware, and social engineering to break the law. On the other hand, cybercrime is defined by Technopedia as a crime with a computer as the object of the crime. Example, hacking, phishing, and spamming, or is used as a tool to commit an offense. Example, child pornography, hate crimes. Cybercriminals may use computer technology to access personal and confidential information or use the internet for exploitative or malicious purposes. There is a widely variety of cybercrimes which can broadly be placed into two categories. First, one-off crimes such as installing the virus that steals your personal data, and second, ongoing crimes such as cyberbullying, extortion, distributing child pornography, or organizing attacks. Cybercrimes may also be referred to as computer crime practice by those who have technological skills and use the internet to achieve their bad motive. Cybercriminals employ their diverse skills to access bank accounts, steal identities, blackmail, defraud, stalk and harass, or use a compromised computer to attack their victims. Criminals can also use computers for communication and document or data storage, and those who perform these illegal activities are often referred to as hackers. In other words, malware downloaded from the computer slow it down and prompt it to give error messages. Likewise, phishing attacks usually involve receiving emails from unknown sources while trying to trick someone into giving up or his passwords are personal data. Keyloggers leave their own telltale signs like strings, icons, or duplicating the messages. Sa madaling salita, ang cybercrime ay isang uri ng krimen na nilalabag ang batas hindi lamang ng pamahalaan kundi ng isang individual, grupo man o di kaya'y ng isang malaking organisasyon kung saan ang layunin nila ay kunin ang mahahalagang detalye at gawan ng nakakabighaning krimen na maaaring magdulot at magsira hindi lamang ng iyong sarili kundi pati na rin ng iyong organisasyong ginawa. Maaari ding ang paggawa nila ng krimen ay ang pagnanakaw o di kaya'y pagpapanggap sa katauhan ng iba nang sa ganun madali nilang makuha ang kanilang mga nais at gawing krimen hindi lamang sa iyo.
My report is all about Common Credible URLs. What is Common Credible URLs? One way of determining the credibility of a website is through the URLs. Although a website's URL gives clues as to the credibility, there is still a need to evaluate it carefully. Recognition of information sources. Similar to the information in print sources, the use of online resources must be given credit to the authors. This can be done by applying proper referencing and citation procedures that would get rid of risk, consequences, and legal implications because of the copyright issue, which means that the ideas and words used belong to the author. Citation. Each entry in the bibliography is called a citation. Proper citation must be applied or included for every sources used, whether it is a website, a newspaper, or a book. Online sources are cited differently because they are different from traditional print sources. There are different formats used to cite the sources. First format is author source. Author is the originator or creator of a work, especially of a literary composition, while source is the person, place, or thing which something or information, goods, etc. comes or is acquired. The second format is year, listed on the title page or at the copyright statement on the reverse of the title page. For a journal introduction to the year, there may also be the month or a season. Example, spring, summer, etc. related to specific issue within the year. Number 3, format. Article title is a natural language, word, or expression that indicates the subject of the article, such as the article title is usually the name of the person or of the place or of whatever else the topic of the article is. Data privacy implication. Data privacy generally the ability of a person to determine for themselves when, how, and to what extent personal information about them is shared with or communicated to others. Implication for data privacy. The lack of access control regarding personal information can put individuals at risk for fraud and identify the left. The importance of data privacy. Protect the privacy of individuals while ensuring free flow of information to promote innovation and growth. Regulates the collection, recording, organization, storage, updating or modification, retrieval, consultation, use, consolidation, blocking, erasure, or destruction of personal data. ensure that the Philippines complies with international standards set for data protection through National Privacy Commission or NPC. Practical techniques in responding to data privacy issue. First, when getting data, put proper citation and source acknowledgement. Example, source, National Statistic Office in 2019. Second, when using needed pictures downloaded from the internet, put acknowledgement. Example, photo credits to file post in 2019. Number 3. If data, concepts, and information are copyrighted, ask for the consent of the author and wait for his or her response. Number 4. If the author doesn't want anyone to utilize his or her data file or article, learn the value of respect in a way that is her or her property. That's all.
Safety tips that I've searched at Google. First is protect your personal information with strong password. Second, keep personal information private. Third, make sure your devices are secured. Fourth, pay attention to software updates. Fifth, be careful about Wi-Fi. Sixth, set up two-factor authentication. Seventh, back up your personal data. I'm going to report about what are the bullying effects to everyone. Bullying behavior impacts the whole school community. Bullying has detrimental effects on student health, well-being, and learning. It can make students feel lonely, unhappy, and frightened. It's not just the student being bullied who are affected. Most students say they don't like seeing bullying in their school. It makes them feel worried and uncomfortable. Students who bully others are also more likely to have problems and be unhappy. Being bullied can affect everything about child, how they see themselves, their friends, school, and their future. Students who are bullied often experience depression, low self-esteem. They may last a lifetime, shyness, loneliness, physical illness, and threatened or attempted self-harm. Some students miss school, see their marks drop, or even leave school altogether because they have been bullied. Verbal and relational bullying can be just as harmful as physical bullying. Students who engage in bullying also risk poor long-term outcomes, including leaving school early. Some students engage in bullying for a short time only and then stop, either because they realize it's wrong or they are supported to learn more appropriate behavior. A small group of students continue to bully others over many years. Parents and school need to support those who bully others to learn more appropriate ways to get on with others and deal with conflict and social challenges. Although most research in this area focuses on the impact of bullying on initiators and targets, bullying may also have negative impact on bystanders, those who witness bullying. Even if a child isn't bullied, they can be affected by one. No one can do well than the way feel unsafe. I was going to report about different kinds of cyberbullying. So the first example of cyberbullying is the harassment. Okay. So harassment is when someone is being harassed online. They are being subjected to a string of abusive messages or efforts to contact them by one person or a group of people. So people can be harassed through social media as well as through their mobile phones. For example, texting and calling and email. Most of the contact the victim will receive will be of a malicious or threatening nature. So next is doxing or doxing. Doxing is when an individual or group of people distribute another person's personal information such as their home address, cell phone number, or place of work onto social media or public forums without their person's permission to do. So, doxing can cause the victim to feel extremely anxious and it can affect their mental health. So, next is cyber stalking. So, similar to harassment, cyber stalking involves the perpetrator making persistent efforts to gain contact with the victim. However, this differs from harassment. More commonly than not, people will cyber stalk another person due to deep feelings towards that person, whether they are positive or negative. Someone who is cyber stalking is more likely to escalate their stalking into the offline world. So next is revenge porn. So revenge porn is when sexually explicit or compromising images of a person have been distributed onto social media or shared on revenge porn specific website without their permission to do. So, normally, images of this nature are posted by an ex-partner who does it with the purpose of causing humiliation and damage to their reputation. Next is swatting. So, swatting is when someone calls emergency responders with claims of dangerous events taking place at an address. People swat others with the intention of causing panic and fear when armed response units arrive in their home or place of work. Swatting is more prevalent with the online gaming community. So next is corporate attacks. Corporate attacks is, in the corporate world, attacks can be send masses of information to a website in order to take the website down and make it non-functional. Corporate attacks can affect public confidence, damaging business reputation, and in some instances, force them to collapse. So next is account hacking. So cyberbullies can hack into a victim's social media accounts and post abusive or damaging messages. This can be particularly damaging for brands and public figures. So next is false profile. Fake social media accounts can be set up with the intention of damaging a person or brand's reputation. This can easily be done by obtaining publicly available images of the victim and making the account appear as authentic as possible. So last is slut shaming. So slut shaming is when someone is called out and labeled as a slut for something that they have done previously or even just how they dress. This kind of cyberbullying often occurs when someone has been sexting another person and their image or conversations become public. It's seen more commonly within young people and teenagers, but anyone can fall victim to being slut shamed.